Hi, it's Faceless Tech. I dug my Zero Boot system, which is a Raspberry Pi with a 3.5-inch screen, battery management, full-size USB, a few of the bells and whistles, full-size HDMI, GPIO exposed. I pulled out of storage the other day and I noticed the LiPo cell that was in it was expanded. I was just trying to destroy the unit, like they do. Um, I thought I could order a new one, but obviously with the current pandemic, or the times it'll take with the battery anyway to take to come would be about 2 or 3 months. I mean, no one's got time for that. So I looked around my shop. I've got loads of 18650 batteries, but more importantly, I've got some 14500, which are the AA size batteries, which are not really that common. Even less common is the AAA ones. But I thought, I wonder if that could be enough power in it to give a good battery life to my Raspberry Pi. So I hooked it up, did a bit of a test run with it. It looked to see like it was, it could take the current draw. So I thought I got to incorporate this into my design, but to do that, I'd also need to make a case, which led me down a massive rabbit hole of making a case for something that wasn't designed to have a case, which was a complete headache. There's loads of design things I had to, I could probably do. Looking back now, I could probably make them a bit better, but the prints were 4 hours long. It works. It does the job for me. It's not made for anyone else. It's just made for me, so it's not a bad compromises made. But to around the case, you've got the front screen, touch screen here. You've got obviously the GPIO exposed with a nice little cover. On the side, I've got this is the bad design decisions. I've got a micro USB port for charging that's recessed, and it's like upside down if you look at it this way. You've got full size USB, which is quite nice. It's flush to the case. You've got around the side, around the back here, you've got the power management, which is basically just the exposed board. I could have probably made like a bit of a case to go over this, but it just adds more complexity to it. And this, it's quite nice because you actually see the inner workings, and you just press the button. It'll tell you the battery level of the board. You've got the power switch. Another bad design decision: a micro SD card. You can get it with a pair of pliers. It's not something that you'd really exchange that often, so it's not that bad having it there. But as I say, it's not ideal. But it's flush. It's inside the case. It's not going to come out. It's not going to snag in your pocket if you do pocketize it. But I'll show you around. This is the inside of one of the cases that I made. As you can see, you've got the 14500 battery compartment here. I basically used, like you see in normal toys, kids' toys, you have the spring and then you have the dome plate. They just go in and you just solder some wires off them, so it can easily be swapped. It's not just hard soldered, straight to the end of the battery, which you don't really want to do. I printed this one and then I had to check the sides, check the ports. They obviously didn't line up because it was like eyeballing it, and you're working off stuff. Luckily I had the schematics, so I could take good detailed stuff for some of the screw holes, but then some of the stuff I had to kind of like eyeball, and I think the first case was too tight and then the next case was a bit too slack, so it kind of swings around about. And then with the front, I basically had the case just come all the way around, but then that got in the way of some of the hats that I'd made, so I had to carve that out, if you were to say. But the way because obviously it's not me designed to go in a case, it was like a hard thing to get the case to attach to the Pi in a way. So what I ended up doing was using the 4 holes in the Raspberry Pi, but I made these custom standoffs, so that you basically screwed the front screen to one of these standoffs each side, and then put the Pi on the back, and then put the whole thing in the case, and then just screwed 2 screws either side into the thing. It worked quite well because the top bit has got like a bit of a ledge, so that the top of the screen rests on there, and it's all quite solid because the Pi is solid together. That's solid on the back. It does work quite well. Also, when I was printing this, as I mentioned, it was a 4-hour print. As you can see here, the support, there's only like a thin wall of support here, but I've since moved to a glass bed, so the adhesion is good, but not good for little thin bits, and it kept them falling off. So I had to basically add a brim, which is good because it stops it warping as much. You can see this one is quite badly warped, and this one is not as badly warped. It's a bit warped on the corners, but not as bad. But then you're left with a horrible like brim that you have to like get off with a knife, and it's a bit nasty in some places. But you can. I've since printed some stuff off, and if you like flex the brim, it will just come off quite cleanly, quite nicely. Yeah, it's, it is what it is. It's a case for the thing with a very easily sourceable, removable battery. You obviously have to take it apart, take the battery out, but if it does go dud, whatever, I can easily change it. And I've got some of these in supply now, so yeah, it worked out quite well in the end. It also has gone on to another project that I are currently doing. I used this design in something else, so it kind of like helped me along the way. But yeah, it's quite an ambitious project. One of them ones that I was quite reluctant to start, but once I got it finished, it worked out quite well in the end. As usual, there'll be all the design files for all the bits and bobs in the description with blog post and an original link to the Zero Boot system if you want to just interested in that or interested in hooking the screen up or whatever else. But yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.